What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope boy you had a great day today. Hope you're having a great night. Um, it's been a long day, long day. I didn't really watch the soap thing that came on, the soap story docu series or whatever, the special. I didn't really watch it. I caught clips of it. One of the clips that I caught was Andy Cohen, his comments. So for those who don't know who Andy Cohen is, he's pretty much the brains behind the Real Housewives franchise over at Bravo. He's one of the executive producers there. I didn't like his comments about the fact that he thinks that his show, the Real Housewives franchise, has phased out soap operas. He basically tried to say that reality shows like the Real Housewives have phased out, have made soap operas obsolete. He's getting a lot of backlash on social media from the daytime community, from daytime actors and actresses, because I think he deserves the backlash because he had no reason to say that. You know what I mean? First of all, if you look at Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, soap operas, daytime shows are getting the numbers that they're getting. In fact, Y&R is getting better numbers than them. Y&R alone is killing Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that in viewership and stuff. Like, look at the numbers. Come on. Simple. Like, Andy Cohen just needs to keep his mouth shut. Anyway, moving on from that. Getting into this episode of GH. Again, I mean, it's tough watching the scenes with Sonny and Mike and how heartbroken Sonny is about the decision that he has to make regarding Mike's, future at this point, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy to make a decision such as this. Um, it's a decision that a lot of people dread making, if they're put in that position. It's a position that you don't want to be put in, but, Sonny doesn't really have a choice. He's Mike's only living son, he's his only living child. So he has no other recourse but to make this decision, as hard as it is. But I did agree with Jason. I mean, not many people would want to just live their life, the rest of their lives, through a feeding tube, with tubes and machines hooked up to them. Not many people would, you know? So I do agree with him on that one. But, either way, it's not an easy decision. But it's a decision nonetheless that needs to be made at some point soon, very soon. But it was just hard seeing Sonny like that, just crying over his dad and stuff. Like the emotional stuff in that scene was just insane. And you could tell like it's hard for Jason to see that. You know what I mean? Like, because he could see Jason usually is the cleanup guy. He cleans up all Sonny and Carly's messes. But this is one mess that he just can't clean. This is a problem that he can't fix for Sonny, because we all know usually Jason's the go-to guy to fix these messes, but in this instance, he can't. There's nothing Jason could really do about it. Um. So anyway, moving on from that, Nikolas and Ava, of course, go back and forth in their little banter about Spencer. And they were talking about Liz and Franco and stuff, and how Liz is not happy about Ava using Franco's past to, conjure up this portrait reveal, or, conjure up guests or whatever for her little big portrait reveal party, whatever. Ava was pretty much trying to tell, Nikolas, like, what's asking him, like, what's more important to you, money or your son? Nikolas, of course, know what Ava trying to do, because he was like, you would love for me to choose my son over the money so that way you could have it. Which is true. I mean, that's exactly what Ava wants. But I think she was genuine when she asked him that question. But then again, Ava wants the money. Um, so Lulu and Laura are sitting there talking or whatever. Lulu came by to show Laura her invite to the portrait party or whatever. She's, of course, ranting and raving, talking about, oh, I'm not going. And if you're not going, then don't go. Like, you don't have to come all the way to Laura's house to announce that you don't want to go. Like, then don't go. She's sitting there talking about, oh, Nikolas is trying to force his little marriage on us and force Ava on us. How is he forcing Ava on you? All he did was send you an invite to the party. That's all they did. They sent you an invite. That's all they did. How is that forcing you? No, Lulu, shut up. Nobody's forcing you to go to this party. You got an invite. I've gotten invites to parties before. I didn't go to all of them. It's at your discretion. If you want to go, then go. If you don't, shut up and sit at home. Like, sit at home with your date, Ben and Jerry. Shit, shut your mouth. Ain't nobody forcing you to go to this party if you don't want to go. And who's forcing Ava on you? You barely are around Ava. So what are you talking about? How is Nikolas forcing anything on you? You're a grown ass woman. If you don't want to be around Ava, don't be around Ava. You don't want to be around Nikolas, don't be around Nikolas. Simple. I mean, I understand why she's still upset with him. I get it, but it's like, stop with the shenanigans. Like, who's forcing you to be around him? Who's forcing you to be around his wife? Nobody's forcing you. So now she's sitting there trying to tell Laura, trying to talk to Laura about going or whatever. Because basically, I just gather that she doesn't want Laura to go. She don't think it's good for Laura to go to the party either. Oh, you're the mayor and stuff, basically trying to say how it would look to the constituents and stuff if you went to this party. First of all, her being the mayor has nothing to do with this. That's her son. Everybody in the town knows Nikolas Cassadine is her son. Everybody knows this. And she's not giving up on her son. Lulu just needs to be quiet. If you don't want to go, don't go. But if your mom wants to go, she's gonna go. She's grown. And that's her kid. That's her child. You focus on your kids. If you don't want to go, fine, don't. Ain't nobody forcing you to go to a party. If she chooses to go, then so be it. You ain't got to be her plus one. Um, it's just ridiculous. Lulu just irks my nerves sometimes. Like, she really just does. So of course when Nikolas dropped by or whatever, he wanted Laura's opinion or her advice about Spencer because he showed them the letter or whatever that Spencer wrote him. And Laura was basically like, okay, he wrote you a letter. Why are you still debating this? Like, I think that's what's really like getting to Laura. Like, why is this such a debate with Nikolas? Like, you have a choice. Your son, the money. Why does it take you so long to make this decision? I mean, I kind of get why, but then again, it's like, that's your son. You should always choose your son over the money. Um, but I did kind of agree with Lulu though, because she on this part she did make sense. I mean, I do genuinely believe that Spencer would rather have his father than the fortune. But at the same time, Spencer does have expensive taste. I mean, the boy does like finer things in life. And I can't blame him because he was born into that. He grew accustomed to that lifestyle, growing up, in that opulent lifestyle. He wants to continue it. You know what I mean? But I do genuinely believe Spencer rather would have his dad. You know what I mean? Like, having your dad is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I just feel like Nikolas needs to make a choice. Your fortune or your son. Hopefully he makes the right choice. Hopefully. With any luck. But I do understand Lulu though, when she was talking about like she was afraid that Nikolas was gonna turn into a true Cassadine. The way, the type of Cassadine Helena always wanted him to be. I think Lulu was always afraid of that. Hell, I think deep down Laura was always afraid of that. That's one thing Laura never wanted for her son, to follow in the footsteps of Mikos and Stavros and Stefan and Helena. She never wanted that for him. But it could be a possibility that maybe he's, heading in that down that road. Who knows? Only time will tell. Um so anyway, moving on from that. Franco and Elizabeth are still not on the same page as a married couple because Liz still seemed like she got a little attitude with Franco. Like, she definitely do. And I feel like she's allowing Nikolas to get into her head. You know what I mean? Putting seeds of doubt and insecurities into their marriage and stuff. Like, you could definitely see it. Franco is just, trying to, get back to normal with his wife. He's trying to move on from the situation. I think Liz is the one still holding in that little frustration with him about that little comment that he made about her art not being a real artist. I think she's still holding on to that. But she's still letting, Nikolas creep up in her mind and manipulate. So of course Ava stopped by, to give Franco a check for the remaining balance of the portrait. And I'm pretty sure it was a big check too. I couldn't see how many zeros was on that check now. Um, but she's not happy about this portrait party either. She's not, because she don't like the fact that she feels like Ava's exploiting her husband, exploiting his past, and she just don't want Franco's past to, be brought up at the party and people to remember it. I'm like, well, pretty much everybody who lives in that town or has lived in that town for 10 years or more knows Franco's past. So it's not something that they forgot. So pretty much everybody who's going to be at that party, they know Franco, they know his past, and I'm pretty sure anybody new that's going to be at the party probably already Googled him. So they know. So it's like, it's not a secret. You know what I mean? I can understand why Liz would be upset, because she feels like Ava's exploiting it for her own gain. But at the same time, stop trying to act like it's a secret. It's not a secret. Everybody in town knows what your husband did before, so it's not really a surprise. Like, they all know. I just don't agree with Ava exploiting it, because I definitely think a part of me feels like that's exactly what she's doing. Bringing up that past. But you know what they say though, controversy creates cash, which it does. But it is what it is. So anyway, we moving on to this custody case, the continuation. Michael, of course, was warning Willow that Martin Gray will definitely try to drag the Corinthos family through the mud. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not shocked that that's Martin's go-to thing to do. I mean, why not? Of course. So, of course, the first person he puts on witness stand, of course, is none other than Carly, which I'm not surprised. So he was pretty much asking Carly, well, Diane is the one who started it off, like asking her about what Nell did to her, all the things that Nell put her through, and her being in Shady Brook and all that stuff, um, well, not Shady Brook, but her being accused of attempted murder, because Nell tried to frame her and stuff. And Carly was like, no, I didn't want to retaliate because I didn't want to stoop to her level. Carly, you technically did retaliate. You locked the bitch up on the roof in the cold. And you, your mama, Monica, y'all conspired to falsify information so Wiley could get a surgery. So I would say you did kind of stoop to her level, but that's just me, I guess, semantics. Um, I guess. So, of course, when Martin does cross examination, I'm not surprised Martin brought up Carly's past with Tony, her shooting people, and her shooting Tony, and ended up at Shady Brook. And, I'm not surprised, because that's what Martin would do, bring up the past. To try to make Carly look bad, try to make the family look bad, to sway the judge. I mean, he was doing his job, so I guess. But Carly, she kind of held her own on the stand or whatever. If as best as Carly could, I guess. So anyway, Michael ends up taking a stand and testifies about how he felt a connection with Wiley even before Wiley was born. Um, he knew that was, before knowing Wiley was his son, he felt a connection. Um, so of course, Martin brings up the timing of Michael and Willow's marriage. So he asked him, does Michael love Willow? And Michael was like, yeah. He was like, I love her love for Wiley. And then he asked Michael, was Michael in love with Willow? Michael said, no, I'm not. Listen, I was not expecting Michael to be so honest on the witness stand. I really was not expecting it. Like, about his marriage to Willow. He answered very honestly. I mean, I knew he was going to tell some truths on the stand, but I didn't know he was going to be that honest. But he just made it very clear to Martin. He's not in love with Willow. But his marriage to her was not a marriage of convenience. He felt like it was the best thing for Wiley to grow up in a two-parent home by people who love him. You know what I mean? Like, he gave such a sincere, testimony. It was very sincere. Um, Michael basically was like, she's loyal, she's generous, just basically telling the court about Willow's character traits. Um, he just felt like marrying her would provide a stable family for his son. So he gave a very honest answer. So of course Willow takes the stand. Um, she basically testified the same thing that Michael did, that her and Michael got married to give, Wiley a real family, a stable home, a loving home. Um, so of course Martin brings up her job history, why she was terminated from the school and stuff, and she admitted that she was terminated because she got too involved with the kids or whatever, their personal life or whatever, and the parent Nina basically was complaining about it and made waves or whatever, so that's why she was terminated. But Diane, of course, countered that Willow is currently working at GH and she has a great recommendation from the principal of her former school. Um, so basically, it was a good flow of back and forth between Martin Gray and Diane and stuff in the cross examination. They were just the witnesses were being totally honest as they can be. But I felt like they did a good job on the witness stand, Michael and Willow. The question is now that Martin is calling Nell to the stand, can Nell knock it out the park with a performance? Like, that's the biggest thing, because even when Nell was rehearsing what she was gonna say in the stand and stuff, even Martin was telling her, like, it don't seem sincere. You said do it again because it don't seem sincere. Nell is crazy. Like, if you really want custody of your son, you better sell this shit to the judge. Like, don't just be sitting up in there, saying stuff all nonchalant, and please don't go on the witness stand sitting there talking about something, oh, I just want the kid. See, this is why I couldn't be her lawyer. Like, I would just be like, you know what? The money ain't even worth it to me. You just go find yourself a new lawyer, because Nell is just too damn much. Like, I don't know how Nell's gonna top that performance. I mean, and the thing is, I can't even call what Michael and Willow did on the stand a performance because it was genuine. They were being brutally honest. So it was definitely a genuine testimony. Nell better come up with something and come up with it quick, and it better be good. Like, cause that testimony that they provided was pretty good. And it may just sway a judge. So you might want to come up, up your game. So anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see y'all all later. Have a great night. Peace.